Hi, my name's Keith Cooper of Northlight Images. You may know that from my videos I do lots of printer reviews, and somebody the other day asked me, yeah, these are all good and well, but where are the reviews of cheaper, simpler printers? Now, I have done some, and I will later on in this, I come back to some ways of getting better results from basic printers. But the question is a fair one. Certainly if you're working on a budget, why don't I review more basic printers? Well, at the simplest, I need to have one of the printers here to test it. I can't afford, nor would I be allowed to live in a printer warehouse. So there is a limit to the number of printers I'm going to have around, and they are going to be ones that suit my professional photography needs. Remember, my real job, as it were, is an architectural, commercial, industrial photographer. And I do make some prints as part of that. But it's a perfectly good question, where are the simple reviews? Now, I've got some on the Northlight Images website. These predate my making videos, so I'll put some links to some of these more basic ones in the notes to this. But as I say, we'll come back to things you can do even for basic printers that will improve what it is. Now, there are so many basic printers, and from my point of view in testing, they very rapidly become much of a muchness. So if you ask me for a printer and you've got a budget of £150, $200 or something like that, there are loads you can pick. Remember though, they are aimed at a market that wants cheap printers. They're aimed at a home market, so they will offer features like duplex printing, all kinds of office functionality. I see it in some of the Canon printers I've looked at. The more basic printers, you get lots more general stuff in it. And I don't test printers for how many sheets per second you can get out of them for an office printer or something like that. It's just not the sort of stuff I do. Remember too that the models change very rapidly. So I've got here a review I did a while ago. This is the Hewlett-Packard HP Envy 5540. Now HP lent me that, and I'm going to say what a palaver that was. I had the temerity to ask for more ink to do some more testing because I wanted to make some printer profiles and things. And I was told it was not available on review machines. I was made to feel like Oliver asking for more food in doing that. No, they send those out if you want basic reviews of basic printers. Go for the online sites for the old computer magazines and things. They do testing, bulk testing of basic printers. And really, they have to scratch to find differences between them. I tend to look at printers just from a print quality point of view. It's why I've got things like these test images, profiles, all stuff like that. It's why I do that sort of stuff. Remember too, I need a printer here. So that was the HP. The Epson XP960. Lovely little printer, got a scanner on top of it as well. That to me counts as a basic printer. It's a 6-ink printer though, so it's still far more than what many would look at. I've looked at a few 4-ink printers. So I looked at the big Canon TC20M. Now the TC20M is a 4-ink printer. If you've got a 4-ink printer, have a look at the TC20M review, because that shows you what you can do with a 4-ink basic printer. I've looked at the Epson 2850 EcoTank printer, very basic 4-color EcoTank printer. Has its plus points and its negative points. I do cover basic stuff, but there are just so many of them. I'd love to be able to go, yes, of course, I've reviewed that. Here, look, such and such. I do not have time, and if I'm going to be really honest, if I had to review basic level printers all day long, I would lose the will. I might manage one or two occasionally as a challenge to see what I can get out of them. But remember, I do this as the YouTube channel is partly connected with our business, Northlight Images. As part of that business for years, I offer one-to-one bespoke training. Quite advanced training on anything photograph, tilt shift lenses, printing, color management, anything like that. I do specific stuff. We have two prices. We have full price, which is reassuringly expensive, and free. This is the free version. So you get what I feel like doing in a way for that. Now, if Epson contact me and say, look, we've got a new printer, such and such that, would you like to have a look at it? I'll go, yeah, all right, okay. But if they say we've got a new line of 15 printers coming out, would you like to test them all? I'm going to be busy that weekend. I'm going to find something else to do. It comes back to that as well. Remember, I go for the quality of the pictures. What do the images look like? What are they like? I measure them. I do all sorts of stuff. I do the long written reviews. But, you know, for example, profiles. Now, ICC profiles. Someone asked me in a comment today, what do you mean by ICC profiles? I was able to point them to some stuff I'd done on it. ICC profiles on basic Canon printers on Macs. And remember, I've only got Macs here, so stuff has to run on a Mac for me to be able to test it. Color management is effectively broken on many Canon smaller printers. You can't do it. So the G550 that I looked at, some people are going to say, well, that's a bit... No, that's a G550. See, I get confused. That's a G550 ink tank printer. That's got 4 inks there, 6 inks in all. That's an excellent printer. But if you use a Mac, you can't use ICC profiles with the printer driver. They're not supported. It's a mystery. I've asked Canon about this many a time. So this sets a cut-off for that because I want to be able to produce ICC profiles. I want to look at these printers and go, can I get great looking prints from them? Now, ideally, I'd like also to get great looking black and white prints out of them, but black and white can be more difficult than getting colour. You'd think it was easier just using black or black and grey ink, but it doesn't work out quite that way. So in a way, we have colour, we have black and white, we have the two different things in that. I say profiles, I make profiles. Someone says, well, okay, if I get a basic printer, I can make profiles. Well, you can, but the kit I use that reads these big targets here, the software and the hardware for it's about 5,000 quid's worth. Now, that's great. Me saying, yeah, I know, got just the printer you want. It's only 145 quid. Works really well. I merely needed £5,000 worth of kit to get good results out of it. That is not terribly helpful. Nor for that matter is it terribly helpful for me to say, well, you could make your own profiles. I could recommend a CC Studio, what used to be the Colour Monkey, an i1 Studio. I can recommend that to you for making your own profiles. That's only 500 quid. So I'm saying, yeah, you're buying a £145 printer, but with this mere extra £500, you could make profiles. I'm going to say if you're interested in making profiles and stuff like that, you're probably going to have a bigger printer budget than that. So it's not to say these printers can't make great looking prints, but it becomes more difficult. Now, if I have one, I will make some profiles. I've made profiles of a sort, even for the G series, the G550 and the other ones there that don't have Mac drivers. So I found a workaround. But once again, it required this sort of expensive kit to actually do it. And it's not terribly helpful, I don't think, to say, well, yeah, these are great printers. You just need all these extra bits and pieces to get good results out of them. I don't think that's terribly helpful for people. Now, as I say, for the basic printers, have a look at the computer magazines, or as were computer magazines, now they're online sites, they do the reviews. Have a look at those. But if you're buying stuff like this, few little tips. I've got lots of stuff on using things like this test image. Now, this test image, this colour one, it's free download. You can do it. I've got all of it, how to look at it, and some basic adjustments you could make. Similarly, there's a free download of this image here. This is a black and white test image. There's loads of stuff. You can improve your black and white prints, even if you've just got a basic scanner. You can use it for checking things. But remember that it may be that your cheap printer, the paper that you particularly like, just doesn't work particularly well. Now, if that paper doesn't work particularly well, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do about it. Think of a different paper. Sometimes, no matter how often you change the settings, you won't get good results. You can print, and I've got a video that looks at using this, you can print out one of these test targets on a basic printer using whatever software you like, and use what the colours look like on this to work out colours for brightly coloured text. So if you're printing stuff with text on it and you can't get the sort of colours you want, well, one, it may be that the paper printer isn't actually capable of those, but you can see what the printer and paper is capable of by printing a test target like this. This has just got lots of colours on it. You print it out, though that is the range of colours you can get. If you don't see the colour you want, take that as a big hint that the printer can't actually manage it. So there you go. In general, more inks are better, but these little printers can produce good results. But I don't think it's fair for me to say that, yes, they produce great results, but you just need to have years and years of printer experience to get it from them, because I don't think people will do that. So yes, you can get passable results from cheap printers. I'm afraid I am not going to be doing lots of reviews of them, but all the things I do about editing images, about composition of images, about why you print, all of those things apply whether you're using a cheap printer or an expensive printer. They all apply. Using test images, this one, lets me pick. I can see how good the black and white is here. I can look at skin tones. I've got loads of these test images and things you can do. Black and white. Are the shadows crunched up? All sorts of stuff. You can get results from cheaper printers, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to be doing my normal detailed printer reviews for small cheap stuff. I have to actually enjoy doing it, and at a certain point it would become a bit of a chore. But feel free to ask me questions about stuff, because people ask me things, I think, well, I've either written an article or done a video about that, or like this particular video, someone's question, perfectly reasonable, why do you only review expensive printers, just gave me the idea of doing this particular video. So I hope that's of some help, and thanks for watching.